Hello everyone, it's Scott here from AnimeBlurayUK, and they'll be unboxing the UK Blu-ray and DVD limited edition combo pack release of Attack on Titan Final Season, The Final Chapters, which is being released into the UK via Crunchyroll. So to start off with, we're going to give you a tour of the outer packaging, and as you can see, the limited edition release of Attack on Titan Final Season, The Final Chapters comes presented in a art box that will hold Part 1, Part 2 and the final chapters. And the front cover of the art box features this really interesting visual of a house out in the wilderness, with the top of the box and the bottom and pretty much all sides of the packaging having that artwork all the way around the actual box, which is pretty cool to see. On the spine, you'll notice it says Attack on Titan Final Season, to give you the impression that this is a complete series box holding all 3 limited edition sets. And then finally, we have the back of the box, which is a little bit of card that sticks to the box and then folds around to the front, which we'll see later on in this video. So on the back of the packaging, you can see the Story on Tour collection are finally complete, and this limited edition release of Attack on Titan Final Season, The Final Chapters, contains a 148-page art book detailing the final season. So that's information from the entirety of the final season, not just the final chapters. A 32-page Digibook, which is part of the actual case holding the Blu-ray and DVD discs, 7 art cards, and then 2 Enamel pins. And then below that we have a list of all the bonus features, in that case being textless ending songs, and then the technical details, which in this case are 2 specials on 2 Blu-ray discs and 2 DVD discs, with the DVD disc listed as region 1, 2 and 4, and the Blu-ray discs being listed region A and B. And of course the audio is presented in both English and Japanese, with the English being in 5.1 surround sound. So here you can see the inside contents of this limited edition release for the final chapters. So we have the final chapters in its own sort of Digibook style design, which I'll show in a minute. And then we have a big piece of cardboard that holds the limited edition content, namely the enamel pins and art cards. And then after that, we have the 148-page booklet. So if you were to remove the spacer box that holds the enamel pins and art cards and replace it with Part 1 and Part 2 limited edition sets, it would give you the impression of a complete season set. Now with the cellophane wrapping removed, let's take one final tour around the packaging. And as you can see, there's that card I was mentioning that folds around the back of the box to the front. And that has all your information on there. So if you were to remove that piece of card away from the actual art box, you'll be able to see more of the artwork on the back of the box and the bottom. But for the time being, I'm going to leave it in place so we can take a look at these. So first up, we have the Attack on Titan Final Season art book. We then have the box containing the art cards and enamel pins, and then we have the Digibook case. So to start off with, we'll take a closer look at the Attack on Titan The Final Season art book that's included inside this limited edition set. So this art book contains 148 pages with information from the entirety of the final season of Attack on Titan. So on the contents page, as you can see here, we have interviews, staff galleries and illustrations. So the first basically chunk of the book, or third of the book, is staff interviews with the Japanese voice cast and production creators and directors and artists and things like that. Basically Q&A, question and answers, with a variety of screenshots and pictures from those relevant moments in the series. Now I'm not going to show you the entirety of the actual art book, as I want you to experience it for yourself if you decide to pick up this release. But if you're a fan of the final season and want to know more sort of behind the scenes information about what it was like working on the show or doing the Japanese voice acting and things like that, it's well worth getting this set just for this particular book. And then beyond that, we have sort of staff galleries where basically different members of the team and different artists have been drawing different characters. And then towards the end of the book, we have sort of more information about the visuals and illustrations used promoting the series, and also the different characters that feature in the series and things like that. Next up, we then have the box containing the 7 art cards and the 2 enamel pins. So this is just pretty much a bog standard cardboard box, nothing really fancy or special. And as you can see, there's lots of empty space on the inside. As realistically, the idea for this particular box is that you take these limited edition items out, which as you can see, art cards on the left and enamel pins on the right, and you would put in the limited edition sets of Part 1, Part 2 to give the impression of a complete season set. But first we're going to take a look at these enamel pins, which interestingly look to have been placed the wrong way around. So as you can see, it says Final Season Part 3, which I guess should have really been Final Season, the final chapters. And then it says an Enamel pin sets. So we've got the Armored Titan and the Attack Titan, or Errant Titan, as two really cool looking Enamel pins. Next up, we then have the 7 art cards. So there's going to be a variety of different artwork in here, some of which might have been in the actual art book as well. So I'm just going to open this up here, and here you have some art cards. So yeah, there's not really much to say about these particular art cards. They do feel a bit glossy. They're not like a matte finish. They're not very reflective either, but you can clearly see the artwork. And the artwork as well, some of which is being used as key visual information, some of which you might have seen elsewhere. So here we have the artwork that's on the box. This artwork was used on the standard edition Blu-ray release of Attack on Titan Final Chapters. And then, interestingly, these next 3 pieces of artwork were actually used as the reverse inlay sleeve on the standard edition Blu-ray release of Attack on Titan Final Chapters. So those are your art cards with Attack on Titan the Final Chapters information on the back. And then finally we get to the Digibook of Attack on Titan, the final season, the final chapters. So here we have this cool looking artwork, which we saw in the art card a moment ago. We then have the spine, which has a lot of text on. We have Attack on Titan logo, limited edition final season, and then the final chapters, and then relative logos towards the bottom. We then have Armin on the back cover looking very serious. And then once we open it up, we are welcomed with the 2 Blu-ray discs on the left-hand side of the Digibook, which interestingly have been put in the wrong way around. So obviously you want to have Special 1 or Disc 1 on the top, and then Disc 2 on the bottom. So I'm just going to swap those around here. And Disc 1 features artwork of Eren, and Disc 2 features character visual artwork of Mikasa. And it's the same disc that's also being used in the standard edition Blu-ray release. And then on the other side, as you can see, are the DVD discs. But before then, we have, as you can see here, Digibook information that's basically some character storyboards as well as 2 visuals either side. And then here we have the DVD discs, once again, being put in the wrong way around. So we have DVD disc 1 with Armin character visual, and then DVD disc 2 with Levi character visual. So all in all, pretty cool, and pretty much what you'd sort of expect to receive from this kind of Attack on Titan limited edition release. So that's pretty much what you can expect to receive from the Attack on Titan, the final season, the final chapters limited edition release, which will be available in the UK via Crunchyroll.